unfortunate start for sure tonight. You have a young team, a work in progress. You had a depleted roster tonight, but there were some defensive issues that first goal seemed to be almost repeated several times. What are you seeing in your team's defending?
The first goal comes where they just play a long ball and it's in front of Lucas, and he goes tight, and as the ball gets laid out wide and Vasquez runs, Caden's got to close down a little bit faster, and Lucas has to be ready in that moment, that as soon as Vasquez releases the ball, to realize that his next move is going to be to sprint to get behind. So we were just a little too slow dealing with a play that starts just off of a long ball on that side of the field.
Are you concerned by what's happening with the defending?
I look at each situation, and I saw a lot of good defending tonight as well. To play down a man for almost 90 minutes, there was a lot of moments of closing things down, winning balls in decent spots. So I give the group, I thought the mentality of the group tonight was strong. And if we can continue to build on that, that's going to help us.
Thank you.
We go next to John Molinaro.
Thanks, Nick. Hi, Bob. An unfortunate incident with Ralph, especially as this was his first game back. I guess a two-part question. Have you seen a replay of the tackle, and did you think it was worthy of a red? And what, if anything, have you said to him? Just because, again, it was his first game in a while, and he gets set off pretty quickly.
Yeah, Ralph came in right away and apologized. Look, he's a good guy, and of course, after being out, the opportunity to start tonight, we knew he couldn't play a full match, but we felt it made sense to get him a good warm-up and get him on the field. I did see a replay. I don't think there's a lot of force in the tackle, but it's high. And, we've talked to Ralph about improving his footwork and his timing, not being so quick to go to the ground in the middle of the field. Thinking faster, seeing situations faster means that you don't react late. And so, that's true in terms of trying to help Ralph develop so that when we have the ball, he finds good positions, he sees things quicker, and the same sort of ideas work in terms of defensive reactions.
Up next, we have James Grossi.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, Bob. This last stretch of games in particular, but all season long, does it feel like every mistake is proving to be particularly costly for you guys? And if so, what do you do with that knowledge?
Look, I think we got ourselves on a little bit of a good run, and then now we went to NYCFC. We of course took the lead, and yet on the day against a good attacking team, in too many moments, in terms of seeing situations a little quicker, understanding against good teams, against good players, that you can't be second best. You have to see things faster. You have to react faster. So that game, we really hoped that we could look at that game as to understand when you play better teams and better players, we're making progress, but now the bar goes higher. And then we've had this tough 2-game stretch with Cincinnati. The goals the other day in terms of a corner and a throw-in, which primarily we've done pretty well defending set pieces. And then to start today and go down early and go down a man. So again, you can go through stretches where I think you said it, that things go against you. And so the only thing that I feel so strongly about tonight is that if we can take the kind of mentality and keep going the way we did after we were down a man, after we were down a goal, I think that's going to pay off.
We head next to Steve Buffery.
Just how frustrating frustrating is it for a coach when you have 3 games in a week and you're already down a bunch of key players and your hands are tied, sort of?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's opportunities for different guys. There's still this part that we are trying to become a good team, and that means everybody needs to be called on in different moments to know that the work that gets done in training every day is going to be important. We're still trying to develop the confidence where we're more consistent, where we can play football, where in parts of games where maybe we're under pressure, that we've got a better way to defend ourselves until we can get control again. So yes, I would say that so far there's a lot of lessons, and there was a period where we were making some progress, and now we've hit a little patch where it's gone against us. But you got to be strong. You don't become a good team when a few things go against you and everybody starts looking in all the wrong directions. You got to keep going with the most important details every day.
Go next to Mike Singh.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, Bob. On sort of that similar note, with I believe maybe 7 matches between now and the summer, is there any sort of level of concern on your end with the depth of the squad right now?
When you're down the number of guys that we are right now, then of course we're thin. Hopefully we get some guys back. We've been hit with a bunch of different things at the same time, so that makes the challenges a little bit bigger.
We'll go back to Neil Davidson next.
Bob, can you give us an update on Osorio?
He came off as we started training yesterday, scheduled to get an MRI, still trying to get to the bottom of exactly what he feels. I mean, it's not a big, it's been a little bit of a hard one to figure out. At first, I think he felt a little bit more on the outside, lately a little more in the middle. I don't think that it's very bad, but it's still lingering. And so that's a concern. So when he came off in training, there was just a sense that, no, he wasn't ready to go today.
This is a leg injury. We're talking lower body.
Yes.
And I know these things are hard to say, but do you have any sense of whether Salcedo and Achera will be out of the health and safety protocols for the weekend?
I don't know if they will be out. So you're correct. Those are hard things to understand.
Okay, thank you.
We go back to James Grossi next.
Thanks again, Nick. Bob, this is a couple of questions all put together. Though I'm sure you'd rather not be using it quite so much, what have you made of this short-term contract initiative? How valuable is it to get these TFC2 players this experience? And what did you see from Stefan and Kobe this evening?
It's valuable. It's the way the league operates. We want to make sure that the connection between the first team, second team, and academy, that those connections are strong. And so these are guys that we get to know in training, and it's a good part of the process then in different situations, that those are the players that get opportunities when you run into some injuries or suspensions or protocols or whatever. So that part's positive. Kobe, we're down to man. I don't want to go into great details. I think both. I think all these young guys have some starting points, and so we're excited to keep trying to push them forward.
And our final 2 questions here will go to Anthony Curry, followed by John Molinaro. Go ahead, Anthony.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, Bob. Up next, you guys have the Vancouver Whitecaps, who have recorded just 1 win in 8 games. Has the significance of that game now increased following today's result?
Sure. You guys love to ask questions like that. Every time you lose, the next game has more significance, I think. Look, you go through a season, you prepare every game. When you go through a little bit of a bad stretch, you try to make sure everybody's strong. You can't get caught up with things, and that you can turn it into a really good effort. We came here today with confidence, and obviously we went down early, and as we discussed this whole press conference, we then went down a man. I thought for good parts of the first half, we still found a way to play, to get forward, to get into the box, to create some chances. So much so that the only change at halftime was Jaden. I was still a little bit worried about the yellow card and the fact that we needed to use him in a different role once Ralph went down. So look, these are the details, but we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we had a little stretch going, as I've said, that we felt we were making some progress, and now we've had this 3-game slide, and we've got to find a way to keep pushing through it and get things back on it. Let me change it. Not to say get it back on a good stretch, to keep getting better and turn better performances and better concentration and better efforts into points.
And we'll have John Molnar to wrap it up here.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, Bob. Of the 10 games you've played this year, in 7 of them, Toronto's conceded the first goal, which obviously isn't ideal. What are you seeing there? I mean, is there one sort of common or 2 common things that, that just leads to Toronto FC to concede the first goal, or is it a variety of things? I mean, how do you explain it?
It's an odd thing in football. Even at times with other teams, you can take the initiatives in games, and that doesn't mean that you'll always score first. We'd have to almost go through game by game, John, whether we started well, how we conceded. I mean, tonight's a bad one because, like I said, we came here with some confidence, and now you're just trying to get into the game, and it's a goal kick from them where they start to play out, and it's just a long ball, and then it's a quick, it's a loose ball, 50-50, some slow reactions. There's been a couple of those. Again, if I go back to Red Bull, goals come, like some of these teams early in games, or some of them in their styles, they're looking to hit long balls and play off of second balls and try to just create some advantages that way. And so there have been moments early in games where just from nothing, when the ball gets hit up and maybe there's a duel, and when it comes loose, they play a quick ball behind, and we're not ready to deal with the next moment. So we work on that because, that's a part of football where it's not that the other team is playing through you so much. It's that just by virtue of a direct ball and winning a duel or being a little bit quicker to react to a second ball, they get an advantage. So it's an area where one of the areas we have to improve. So that's probably my best answer.
Fair enough. Thanks, Bob. Safe travels home.
Thank you.